welcome to our next interview with our beautiful WOI committee member, Yvette Mason, who has been with the Women of Influence Committee for about 2.5 to 3 years. It feels longer because you just feel like you've always been a part of the team, and we love working with you, and you're such a dedicated team member, and thank you for everything that you do for us. I want to start by saying that.
Thank you. It's been an amazing experience to be on the committee, actually. Even, in times when it's busy, I think I've said in the past, where you feel like, oh, I've got too much in my bucket, it's overflowing. And then we catch up and I'm like, no, this is so good. This is like, when everything else seems like it's crazy, I feel like we catch up together and we're all in the same crazy. So it makes me feel a bit better.
I love that. It's so true, isn't it? There is always time to give back, isn't there? And that's what this is about. That's what it's about for me. I love being able to give back. And what do you love about being a part of WOI?
I've always had an interest in things that you can do to give back to the community. So I've helped out with, women's shelters in the past. And as a lawyer, I've volunteered a lot of different places with pro bono work. So to see that we're able to donate laptops to students the other day to enable them to do their work was an amazing feeling. It doesn't feel like we do that much to be able to create the opportunity for other people. So yeah, that's a really good thing. And also just being in a committee with, other wonderful women who I wouldn't otherwise have met. So yeah.
Oh, I love this. I'm loving my interview with you already. So you've just kind of dropped it in there that you're your line of work, that you're a lawyer. So do you just want to give a little bit more information about the work that you do?
Sure. So I'm a lawyer at Mintrellison on the Gold Coast. So we're based at Varsity Lakes. By trade, I suppose you could say I'm a property lawyer. So real estate, development, buying and selling lots of different properties. But as my career has progressed, I've done other different things. So I was one of the lawyers on the team that worked on the Commonwealth Games. So I've done commercial, lots of different things as well as real estate.
I can imagine that this has been a very turbulent time for yourself and some of your colleagues. So can you just share a little bit about, some of the challenges that you've faced during this time?
As lawyers, we're always dependent on market changes also impact us. So I know the Gold Coast has been hit in so many different areas, in tourism, in aviation industry, in all of our big places that people come and see, like Dreamworld and everything, have been shut. So there's been so many industries that have been impacted. There's been a lot of questions asked of us, if you're a tenant or a landlord in, retail or commercial, how is this going to impact us? Because people can't pay rent and no one's able to trade. So it's been a really interesting time. And as part of that, I've been working from home.
And yeah, working from home with a little toddler and the husband.
Yes.
It's challenges, right?
And that's been since March as well. Like early March, we were working from home. So yeah, it feels like it's been a long time now.
Yeah, talk us through some of those challenges, those home ones that have been difficult.
I mean, I wouldn't say I'm an extrovert. Like you probably know, I'm quite a quiet person in a group, but I do still need, I'm not a total introvert, I still do need interaction with other people, and I really miss that office environment where you can have a bit of a banter and talk out problems with people and just engage with people that you get to know quite well as your colleagues and that you work with for a long time. So I miss that. I miss the busyness of being in an office and just being at work, and I miss that distinction between you finish and then you come home. Where at the moment I finish and I'm at home, and that's been difficult. Try and keep a routine as much as possible. And I've been lucky that my daughter's been at daycare the 3 days I've been working. So to not send her to daycare because we were a bit worried, about COVID and everything, I just could not get any work done because she's 20 months old and, cries as soon as she sees me sit down at my desk now. So yeah.
I think one of the important things you mentioned there was having a bit of routine and structure while you're working from home. So if this does go for many more months, and if there's anyone listening to this interview that can relate to this, maybe try to have a time limit on, from this time to this time is when I'm work, and this time to this time is when I'm with family, and then make a concerted effort to make that distinction. Through this time, what has been some surprise? Has anything surprised you?
Yeah, it has. I mean, you hear online all the people saying, oh, divorces are going to go through the roof after all of this. And if anything, I think that, you know, I don't want to sound like smug, but my husband and I have had more time to connect and talk and plan, I suppose. The big thing that's impacted everyone with COVID is that we all think we have this a little bit of control over our lives, right? We like to have routine because that's control, that's a sense of control. We know what our day is going to look like. We go to work and then we come home and we have routines and little rituals in our lives that make us feel secure. We know where our place is in the world. And this pandemic's just come along and gone, you know what, guys, don't worry about that. You're just going to have to take each day as a new day, and we're not going to know what's going to happen in 2 months or 3 months or 6 months. That's really frightening, you know, and for anyone who does get stressed when their routines disrupted, then it can be really anxiety inducing. So I think it's given my husband and I some time to talk about, well, how will our lives change? What do we want to do? And you know, have a talk about those big dreams and those goals that get washed away in the day-to-day grittiness of everyday life, of changing nappies and dealing with the toddler and going to work and all those stresses that we don't really, I mean, some of them we still have, but they don't seem as important anymore. Yeah, so that was one good thing. And the other good thing is we've gotten to know our neighbours really well.
Oh.
So we're friendly with them, but now we've gotten to know some of our neighbours quite well over this. So because everyone's at home and there's a real sense of community, and that's really lovely. So when you're missing family so much, it's nice to be able to make some new connections.
It's kind of made us stop and reflect and go back to old ways of life a little bit in some way, hasn't it? Because you know, we've been living in our current place for a year and a half, and we've just been invited for lunch by our next door neighbours on Sunday for the first time ever too. So I can totally relate, and I think I love that there's, you know, extra connection between you and your family and your neighbours. I think that's absolutely love it, and between you and your hubby. So even though they drive us a little crazy when we work from home with them, sometimes we also all feel a little, you know, more connection and more understanding, and I love that. So what are some of the changes that you think you might make going forward, Yvette?
Just getting rid of some of the noise in your life, that the little things that you get wound up about really aren't that important. And I know everyone always says that, but just taking that time to be with family, you know, spend more time with friends, take advantage of, you know, being able to go out to restaurants and things like that when they reopen. I definitely will be doing that a little bit more rather than staying at home.
And we'll have more gratitude for being able to dine in a restaurant, I think.
I think so. I think it is just a little bit of being able to take a breath and try and just de-stress a little bit. Know that one of the mantras, or I've had really two mantras, just roll with the punches, and that real mum one, this too shall pass, you know, and that's just to breathe in, breathe out. Okay, this is going to be a little blip in the economic or history of the planet in 10 years' time. So just drop your shoulder a little bit and, you know.
Roll with the punches. Love it. My last question for you today, Yvette, is what are you most looking forward to when this is all over? Because you know, the end is near.
Yeah, just hugging everyone.
Oh, you're a hugger.
Well,
not normally, right?
Not normally, but just hugging my family and hugging my friends and just being able to, like, I accidentally shook someone's hand yesterday and we both freaked out, you know.
Oh my gosh, wow. Wow.
It's just without thinking, we both went to shake hands and kind of just went, oh, we can't do that. And that might never change really, but I just am going to really love seeing my family and giving them a big hug, and then everyone going to the pub for a drink.
It'll be interesting to see what our new normal will be like on the other side of this, with our body language and our greetings and things like that. You know, in France, everyone kisses each other a few times on the cheek. That's really interesting. And I'm looking forward to going for a drink too. So we must all go together for a drink. All the committee. I cannot wait to see you. And everyone, just to let you know, beautiful Yvette is going to be on our great debate one of our debate teams this year. So I'm looking forward to hearing you in action. And I've really enjoyed interviewing you today. And thanks so much for your time and for your wisdom.
It's okay. Thank you. I'm looking forward to the debate. It should be really fun. So
yeah, we can't wait. We can't wait.
Yeah. Okay. All right.